What's good, guys? Today in this video, I'm going to be breaking down a 3 words video by TCrook, a video we just released, one of my more recent videos. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and just click this info card to check it out before you check this out, because this is relative to that and you're not going to be knowing what I'm talking about unless you see the video. But yeah, so this breakdown, this format is going to be a little bit different than how I typically do it. Typically I just lay out all the behind the scenes footage and kind of talk over it, but I grabbed my favorite screen grabs from the video, and I'm just gonna break down where the lights were in relation to the actual shot, and I'm gonna lay over the BTS footage over top of that so you can see what I'm saying while I'm saying it, if that makes sense. So let's just dive straight into it. Hopefully this goes well. Like I said, this is a new format, but let me know down in the comments if you're feeling this or not after you check this out. But this first screen grab that we have is the intro shot, and when you see it in the music video, it's gonna be fairly wide, but you're gonna see me cutting into those close shots as well. But this shot is actually fairly simple in terms of the way we lit it. So you can instantly see right here the background lighting source that's relevant right here is a quasar science tube. And the way we mounted these up and rigged these up to have them in the background like this is we just had some C-stands. Now in my mind, theoretically, when I was trying to get this set up in my head, I figured that the fact that they were so far back in the distance in the shot and cut off from the main lighting source on TCrook that they would be shadowed out, but they picked up lots of reflections, and that's all good though. They still look cool in the shot, and it was just a learning experience for me. I'm still learning, we're all still learning. So yeah, you can see the C-stands very bold in the back of the shot. Doesn't take away from it though, in my personal opinion, it still looks cool. But we basically just wrapped the quasar science tubes onto the C-stand using some gaff tape. We double wrapped them on both sides so they were sticking to it. And originally what we were gonna do was, I wanted to have a super long line of quasar science tube and just to have them flickering. I just couldn't really figure out how to get that done in the little short time span that we had to create this video. So the background lighting source are 2 quasar science tubes, and we set them specifically to the daylight tone, so they counteracted with the main lighting source on TCrook to give it more of a bluish tone. Now that was enhanced in coloring, but you could already see the blue tone already added into it while we were shooting it, just because we set the lighting temperature to tungsten, and we intentionally set those to daylight, if that makes sense. So those are the background lights. You can see another one right here. They're very bold in the shot. When you see the intro shot, something you instantly notice. But for the main lighting source for TCrook, it's actually fairly simple. It's just one lighting source. We have an overhead light on him, and these were skylights. I'm not sure specifically what they were. They could have been some 5K Fresnels. They could have been some sky panels. I honestly have no clue what they were, but they're just skylights, and they're wrapped with really thick skirt, and they have a diffusion in front of them. So I'm not sure specifically what is in those lighting sources, but if you want to achieve something like this, just get a C-stand or some sort of overhead lighting setup and just shine it straight down on the artist. So we got that coming down on TCrook, and this is just the only lighting source that he has. It's very shadowed, it's very moody. When he looks up, you can get a really clear glimpse of his face. When he looks down, it kind of shadows him. It's just a dark but very contrasted look that I wanted to go for this shot. So this overhead lighting setup right here is just a sky panel. We got 2 backlights, very simple setup. All right, so for this next setup we got right here, this is the model laying on the bed. And to get this bed, you can briefly see in my vlog that I uploaded before this music video. I'll link that up above as well if you want to check that out. But we had to get this bed sent to the studio to be used in the music video. It was a big, huge hassle, and they ended up showing up 2 hours late. They didn't bring us a king size mattress. They brought us 2 twin sizes, so we had to stack those up on top of each other. It was a big gap in between the beds. The headboard on the thing cracked. It was a mess, but we ended up getting it done. But in terms of just this general lighting setup we got right here, this is in the exact same space where TCrook was in the last shot that I went over. The only difference is we've added in a moonlight. I think that's what you call these. It's just a moonlight-esque light. It just gives off that moonlight feel. You can see it hitting her throughout these edges of her, and like right there on her nose. That's just the 120D that we have off a frame behind the bed, and it's just shining in on her just to hit her edges. And the only lighting source that we do have here is the skylight, this exact same skylight that we used on TCrook in the last shot. Now it's a lot more even in this shot because she's laying on her back. It's not like her looking at the camera. You feel me? It's just gonna evenly light her, evenly lights the bed, and it was just a perfect lighting source to use for that. We just added in the 120D to give it a little bit more of a vibe, if that makes sense. So same thing we did with the background light on the last shot. The 120D is a daylight tone temperature, so it's gonna give off a bluish feel for the shot, and we just set the white balance to tungsten. So it's gonna naturally give off that teal and orange vibe for it. It wasn't enhanced in post, but before that, you can already see that's happening. So the 120D is hitting her right here, and just the overall soft lighting setup on her is just the sky panel. You can see the 120D hitting her right there too, on her legs and right here, her hands, everything. So yeah, it's just giving off that bluish tone, just hitting her on the side, just adding that cool look to it. Next shot is the exact same setup. TCrook is laying on that exact same bed. The background's blacked out because the overhead light has a nice skirt on it. It's not really spilling that much light onto the background. And yeah, you can see the 120D is hitting him a little bit right here, just to give him that little bit of rim light on the top of his head. But overall, this is just one light setup, two with the 120D, just to add that little bit of, you know, a little bit of splash of color to it. Now this setup right here with her on the bed is pretty much the same, but we ended up adding another lighting source to her, just so the overhead lighting wouldn't give her those harsh shadows that overhead lighting typically does. So basically what we have going on here is we have the overhead light, we still have the 120D in the exact same space that it was, but we have a quasar science tube hitting her on the side of her face, and you can see it's kind of shadowing her hair right here, which typically you wouldn't do, but it's whatever. I think the shot still looks really good. I have Cotton off to the side of the frame holding a quasar science tube at her face, just to light her face and not give her those harsh shadows that you typically get with overhead lighting. So this just makes her look a little bit more beautiful. just a more beautiful looking lighting setup for her. Female, you don't want those dark shadows coming under her eyes and under her nose and stuff like that. So this is just to give her more of an even feel with the lighting. As for this lighting setup right here, this is actually a fairly simple lighting setup as well. We have TCrook and we have the model, and you can see it's a green and orange lighting setup. Green complements orange very well, so I knew I wanted to go with those two colors. But we also ended up adding in another color, which I'll show you in the next screenshot, my bad. But as for this lighting setup right here, we have her getting hit right here, and TCrook, you can see it's spilling a little bit on him right here as well. And this is just, I believe, a 650 RA Fresnel, or it's either a 1K or 650, one of those two. I'm not specifically sure, I forget. This just the time on this shot and this shoot, we're just going so fast. I don't even specifically know what we were using, but these are spotlights. You can see they're hitting them hard on the side of their face, and we just put an orange gel on it. And this is more so set behind them. It's not really in front of them. This is more so like not a key light, but more of like a rim light, So this is hitting them on the back side. And as for the green lighting tones that we have just on the overall background and them, this is a huge lighting source. So in order for us to do this, we just used the 120D. We'll be using the dome. But what we did, and Cotton actually did this, and it freaking blew my mind because I didn't even think to do it, was inside of the 120D dome, you have the option to split the Velcro in the back. And he just put the green gel inside of the dome, like right before the spotlight gets to the dome, and it just gave a really wide, soft lighting source. So all of these green tones that you see in this video, hitting the face, hitting the clothes, hitting the background, all of this is just coming from the 120D. We just shine that, and this is a really nice, soft key source for them. And as for the shadow part of them, this is just fall off. Like we didn't do any bouncing back or any fill. This is just the fall off from the 120D. You can see it's nice and soft, and it just looks really well. So yeah, this is how we set this up. It's really simple, really simple lighting setup. Just the 2-light setup that you could achieve with just some gels and 2 different lights by placing them further or closer to the subject in the shot. This shot right here was actually only lit with 1 light. This is the exact same lighting setup that we used on the first TCrook screen grab that I just went over with the quasar science tube in the background. We just took those out of the shot. We got a turntable to put her on so she's slowly turning. This is just a fairly simple shot. It's just us dollying in and out. We have the overhead lighting source for her, and you can see in the background, not in the background, you can see in the BTS that it's a big round table. And what that is it's just a really big surface that's electrically ran, and you get to set the amount of speed that it's going to be turning, and it just continues to turn in that exact same speed round and round. And we just decided to put the model in there and just have her do some cool looking stuff, just to get the sexy aspects of the video. But the lighting setup for this was simple. We were running so short on time, we just figured, hey, just put it in the exact same spot. We just gonna boost the sky panel up, and we're just gonna get these quick shots with B-roll. The models pulled up 2 hours late, which I didn't know. They weren't actually late. They just pulled up 2 hours into the shoot, and I assumed that they were gonna be coming up. They were gonna be coming in at the start. So I was setting up shots for the models to be in, and they weren't even set to come into the shots until 2 hours into the shoot. So it was crazy, man. But for this, we just got the skylight, and it's just hitting her right here. You can see it more so hitting her harder on the top, because that's where it's coming from. Really nice fall off with the shadows, because this was diffused. Yeah, and this was just like a real dark and mysterious shot right here. This shot right here is where I was talking about us adding in a different color into the setup that we were using with TCrook and the female. So this is the exact same lighting setup. We got the 650 or the 1K hitting her right here with the orange gel, and then we got the 120D with the green just hitting her straight on right here, and it's just giving green tones to the background, and you know, just falling off and stuff like that. And I'm really bad at drawing arrows, as y'all can see. But the other color that we decided to add into this was pink. So you can see a little bit of pink right here, and I just got cotton off the frame over here, and he's just waving this. So you can see this going in and out of the shot throughout the performance, throughout the shots for her doing the B-roll. He's just waving the pink light, and this is also a 650 or a 1K, and we just have a pink gel on it. So he has a spotlight, he's just waving in and out, small, big. It just adds a little bit of motion to the shot and gives it a little bit more hypeness to, you know, relate to the music that's going on. So exact same lighting setup. We just got the spotlight off to the side, the cotton's waving. Really simple setup, just 2 lights, plus the added the pink one that we put in there. So those are all of the screen grabs that I have for the video. I just want to talk about the video in general, the process of it, and just the freaking madness of the video that was. So you can see a little bit in the vlog that I linked up above that we went to the prop shop. I had to go there literally a day before the shoot to figure out how to get a bed to the studio, get it delivered there within that time frame, and we were going into budget way over. It was just nuts. So we had 5 hours in that studio to shoot this entire video. I had about 8 different looks that I wanted to do. We probably only went through like 4 or 5 of them, with us ended up recycling the different lighting setups that we had to do. Like we put her on a round table with the exact same lighting setup that wasn't really in the treatment. It was just a bunch going on. So, but this is just my message to you all. Shoots go crazy, man. You just gotta be prepared for them to go crazy. Prepare as much as you can, and get really good at improvising, man, because this shoot was a lot of that. It was a lot of me scrambling and sitting there being super overwhelmed, and it was nuts, man. But really quick, huge shout out to the people who helped me, man. The homie Trey P, Cotton Films, Johnny Exotic, Director Tino for sure, man, Daddy, pretty much everybody there at the shoot, man, came out. They helped us move this bed that the headboard ended up cracking on. It was just nuts, man. We had to get the dolly in, and then we were missing little things to put under the dolly to level them, so we had to wait for that. And then Cotton helped me set that up because I had no idea what I was doing. And we rented the throne for the shoot, and then somebody else in the studio also rented the throne, so we had to wait for them to use it, then we had to go get it back, and then it was just like we had 5 minutes left to shoot. And whenever you're on a shoot, man, and the time is winding down, you gotta go through your shot list, and you gotta mark out the important shots, and you gotta really prioritize what you want to get if you have a limited amount of time. Like I said, I had like 8 or 9 different looks that I wanted to do for this video. Not to say that these were better than those, But I think if I would have went through and prioritized what I wanted to do instead of going through my shot list in order, I would have definitely got better shots for this. But it turned out cool. It's an amazing video, I personally think. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this behind the scenes setup. But yeah, man, that's it. I'm checking out, check out the music video if you haven't already. Yeah, let me know if you're feeling this and if you would like to see more of these kind of behind the scenes breakdowns, because this is just fairly new to me. So appreciate you all for checking this out. Drop me a like. Peace out, guys.